Hello, everyone,
Hi.
and welcome to the first episode of Sugar Butter Flair.
And then the tea.
But it should be then the gin because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm drinking gin.
I don't blame you. Really don't blame you. Not a
This
gin
is how
lover.
bored I am, Becky. This is how bored I am.
Coronavirus is really,
But
really causing an issue.
oh, let's not talk about it. I'll cry. I'm a very emotionally stable person at the moment, Becky.
We know.
But why don't you introduce yourself? Like, who are you for people who don't know who you are?
Oh, so those who don't know who I am, my name's Becky. And I love the theatre. What about you, Luke?
I'm Luke FM. People call me FM because they can't actually pronounce my last name, Fuentes Moreno, or spell it, or anything, so it's just Luke FM. And I
Cracking.
also enjoyed the theatre. I know, shock horror, I know.
Podcast about theatre and they both like theatre. Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But no, I do really enjoy theatre. I work in 2 theatres as well, so you know what?
Yeah,
I've had a great life.
I work in immersive theatre.
Oh, immersive
I
theatre.
know, a big word for me.
That was a big word. I wasn't expecting that.
Wow.
But right, so are you people, can't you see
Can't you see?
how your love's affecting our reality? Anyway, so Becky, why don't you tell us how you got into theatre?
How I got into theatre? So I was about 6. I was watching Casualty with my parents, and I went, I want to do
Cracking
that.
show, absolutely cracking show.
It's a crack, it is great. And they didn't know whether I wanted to be a paramedic or an actor. You can't put a 6-year-old into paramedic Saturday school, so I went to theatre school. And ever since then, I've just been in theatre.
I love that. I think mine started when I was about 6 as well. I was at my nan's house, my granny Annie's, and she had, do you know the videotape back in the day? The videotape, don't know if
Yeah.
anyone's
Only 90s
old enough
baby
to remember a
would know.
videotape, but she had a videotape of Cats. And Cats, I was obsessed with it. The dancing, the costumes, the choreography, I just loved it. Skimble Shanks, the railway cat. I just love Cats.
Did they
And
actually
from
have
there,
a recording of
I was
Cats?
like, yeah, it was a film. I don't think it was like a
wow.
live recording like Miss Saigon, but I think it was some. They did it on a stage. They did it at the Adelphi.
Oh, I'll have to look
I
for that.
know. And then I was like, Mum, I want to do that. So she sent me to dance school. And I was a dancer, then I carried on, and then I gave up.
Same mood.
And now I want to be a theatre manager.
Well, I did musical theatre for years, but now I want to work as an actor and as a director.
Fair enough.
2 left feet.
We love that. So this is a podcast. We're going to change the name, actually. It's going to be called Failed MT Actors.
Yeah, that
'Cause that's
sounds
what
more
we are.
realistic. Yeah.
Because we're both failing. None of us want to do MT anymore. And we trained our whole life for it. So you know what?
Yeah.
Props. We live for that. Chin chin, chin chin.
More of the gym.
So, what's happening with your week, Becky? Tell me.
Oh,
I feel like I've not seen you in ages. What
I haven't
is
seen you in a
happening?
while. So start. My week started with a phone call saying your work has closed down for building work. And I was like, great. I work at the Dungeons for anyone that doesn't know, so we do like immersive, scary and gruesome shows. But we're having a new show, so it's been closed midweek for building work. I was like, great. I can deal with that. Then 2 days later we got a call to say, this does not work with social distancing, because at the moment we're in the time of the coronavirus pandemic. We're not yet in lockdown, but we need to social distance, so they closed our attraction down. But it was okay, because they were going to try and find me some other shifts, in the ballroom, maybe like pouring some drinks or stuff. It's not my usual job, but hours are hours at the end of the day. And then I got a lovely call yesterday to say I'd been laid off. Props to Merlin, if I'm allowed to say the name. They have been really supportive of the staff, and as soon as this pandemic is over, can go back anyway. It's not the end of the world. So now I just need a new job, so I've applied for co-op. Dungeons to co-op in a week.
Do you know
Go
what?
on, Luke.
Fair enough.
How's your week been?
True failed actress right there, everybody. Don't cry. My week's just been as eventful as yours, apart
Yeah.
from mine's had more crying. So it started off with the most stressful shift of my life. I was at Back to the Future on a double Saturday,
Oof.
and there was only 2 sups in when normally we have 4. So obviously I was so super stressed from that. Had my Sunday double Riverdance shift, lovely shift. Then Monday,
Monday
I was
came.
at work at the Blackpool Tower, and I got an email saying that theatres around the UK were shutting.
Great.
So my jobs at the Palace Theatre and Opera House have gone, and they are, fingers crossed, looking to open on the 26th of April, which will be a great birthday present for me, fingers crossed.
Don't think it'll happen, let's be realistic.
I don't think it will either, but they've cancelled the shows there, which is really upsetting. And then I plodding along, I was like, I'll just relax for a few days, and then Blackpool Tower, I'll kick in with my work there. Had a group conference call today.
Oh, how did that go?
Blackpool Tower is shutting for 12 weeks.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
So, I've got 2 jobs. I now have 0.
Exciting. Come join me at
COVID.
the co-op.
No, couldn't think of anything worse than retail. Like, no offence to whoever's doing it out there. Like, it's not me slating you.
You
It's
are
just,
a saint.
it's not for me. Like, I give props to you guys. You're all doing amazing. Like, I know it's a bit crazy at the moment, but I literally could never do retail. There's 3 jobs I could never do, Becky. Oh, shall I say it?
Go for it.
No, I can't. I don't think. No, I can't.
We can always edit it out.
No, I can't. No, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Go.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't hate me. Like, if you work at these places, like, it's not hate. This is not a hate crime. It's just something that I don't think I could physically do myself. One of them is retail.
Yeah.
Don't think I could do it ever in my life. Like, I have enough doing the retail shop at the Tower. Nah, not doing it. The second one is spoons.
Oh, no.
I don't think I could ever work in spoons. Like, I give
No.
props to everyone that works there. I just don't think I could ever do it.
Don't
And
know
my
how
last
you
one is
guys do it.
McDonald's.
Yeah, they work
Especially
really hard.
If it's the Manchester City Centre one or the Blackpool one, on a night out, nah,
Yeah.
I'm out. Like, they deserve medals. They deserve everything in the world. Like, I can't do it, no.
I look at 16-year-olds and they're literally like, it got such a hard job from when like, I worked on like a fairground when I was 16. It was so easy compared to what I see people at McDonald's
know.
doing.
Oh
Props
my
to
God.
them.
No. How did we get onto this?
I don't know. Our unemployment,
Oh, yeah.
I think.
So, yeah, I'm jobless now, so I'm very bored. I'm debating buying a Nintendo Switch.
Do it.
So, yeah, this is why me and Becky are doing this, because we're bored.
And you know, we need something to fill our time and our brains.
Exactly, and I need something to fill my musicalness inside me, because people who don't know me, Becky knows me very well. I normally go watch a musical a week. Whether
That's
I'd go
like
to London,
a low week.
whether I'd go to Liverpool, Manchester, like, I go see a musical a week, and it's killing me that I'm not going to be able to see a musical till at least earliest probably May. Like, I
That's
have one
actually
booked for my
heartbreaking.
birthday on the 29th of April.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I know. And I'll be gutted if I can't go, but you know what? Stay safe, everyone.
Do you know what? If coronavirus is gone by then, I don't have a job, so I don't need to book it off.
And we can go to London
I
together.
can go anyway.
Bam! And I can sit front row for my dream show.
I'll sit in the back.
Anyway, into the show.
Into what show?
This show. So what is this show? So this show is basically a mixture of random things. It's basically just me and Becky having a catch up.
Yeah, catch up.
But
Talking a bit about what's
we're
going on
gonna
at theatre.
Talk a bit about ourselves. We're going to talk about what we hate about each other.
Yeah. Opinions on theatre.
Just why do you annoy me, Becky?
Why do I
Huh?
annoy you,
Huh?
Luke? Go on.
No, we're getting into it later. Just
Oh,
let me finish my
oh.
introduction.
I'm not prepared for this.
And then we'll talk about musicals. So today we're going to go into our top 5 musicals.
Yeah, I'm
Just
excited
to
for that.
introduce ourselves a bit more. Becky's changes on a daily
It does.
annoys me. I can't keep up with her.
Yeah, it
And
depends
then
what mood
we'll
I'm in.
just it's just gonna be a mixture of musicals and talking about ourselves and our family in lockdown when we eventually go to it. Like
Yeah.
I'm already dreading it, Becky. Like my little brother is next door, and he's already pissing me off.
You beat him up most days. Just go and do that.
Oh my god! I can't believe you just said that on the podcast.
You can edit it out. It's fine. But
I'm
it is
currently watching
true.
Becky building a bloody tower out of pens. This is what I've got to work with, guys. This is what I've got to work with. Like, this is not all right.
I have the attention span of a goldfish.
We know. Anyway, that's my favourite word of this podcast. Word of the podcast, everyone. Anyway. Anyway, the wind blows.
Doesn't really matter to me.
Right, top 5 musicals. We're going to start from... Shut up. This is not what the viewers want. Viewers? Do you call them viewers?
Listeners.
Listeners.
They can't
This
see
is what
a
the
podcast.
Right, okay, this is what the listeners want. No, they don't want that.
No, they don't want it.
Right, top 5 musicals. Becky, do you want to kick us off with your 5th top musical?
Right, so the musical in my 5th place today is Funny Girl. I just love Barbra Streisand. I love Funny Girl. There's not much more you can say about it. It's a stunning show.
Oh my god, literally, I think I forgot about that show. Until
Yeah.
you just brought it up.
Ah.
I don't know if you all heard my ooh. I literally was just like, oh my god, I forgot that was a musical. I'm not going to lie to you, Becky. Like, no lies here. I've never seen the film, ever.
I've never seen it on stage.
I only knew one song, and that was Down to Glee, Don't Rain on My Parade, by Leah Michelle and Naya Riviera.
Yeah.
Hashtag Naya Riviera was better than Leah Michelle, just saying.
Yes.
But then it came to my work, it did a week run, and then it came back and did a 2-week run, and honestly, it was the most beautiful show. Like, it was just Sheridan Smith, a queen,
It is my dream
tap
to one day see
dancing,
it on
point
stage.
shoes. Like, I'm just shook. The Shell show it was just, like, it's not one of my favourites, it's just a really good show.
Oh. Yeah, I definitely need to see it on stage.
And thank you for putting it in your top 5, because it's made me
Thanks.
reminded me of it, and I'm probably going to listen to the soundtrack today.
Oh my God, and you definitely should have watched the film. Barbra Streisand is a icon.
I don't like movie musical films unless it's live.
But it was a movie musical before it was on stage,
I don't care. I don't want to watch it.
I think. It might not.
I don't want to watch it.
Either way, Barbara was Fanny in both.
I swear it was a musical first.
It might have been.
First. I swear it was a musical first.
Ah, well, I was introduced to the film first, regardless.
Anyway, shall I do my top 5?
Go on.
So 5th on my list is a little gem of a show, sung through, may I add.
Ooh.
It is the wonderful and amazing Miss Saigon.
Oh, yes.
Miss Saigon is literally one of my favourite shows. Like, I just love it so much. I first watched it. Obviously, I listened to the soundtrack so much, and then I first watched it, the London Revival with Eva, who was phenomenal. Like, she was truly amazing. I live for the live recording of that show. It's played once a week, probably, in my household, because I just love it so much.
I might watch it now.
And there's one
actually.
song that I love in this show so much that I put it on repeat, and I listen to it on repeat for a whole train journey home, which is 2 hours.
That's impressive.
And you will not touch him. You will not touch him. Don't touch my boy. He's what I live for. He's my only joy. Literally one of my favourite songs in the whole show.
Claude Schomburg and Alan Boobell are honestly
Amazing.
geniuses.
So, do you know what? I'm going to just... Thank you. Thank you for making such a brilliant show.
You did a cracking job.
It is my top 5. I wish it could be higher, but these next shows just up there for me.
Up there.
Right, what's your number 4? Go on.
Right, number 4. My number 4 is a show I went to see for the first time the other week in Glasgow. Me and Luke went for a little trip to Glasgow. Yeah, we meant to go to Italy, but coronavirus got in the way, so we decided to go on a theatre trip to Scotland, and we saw in Glasgow the UK tour of On Your Feet.
Get on your feet.
It's amazing.
That's all I know.
For anyone who doesn't know the show, it is Gloria Estefan's story. It's her music with her and the Miami Sound Machine. So it's a jukebox musical. But it just goes through every emotion. It goes through happy, it goes through like sad, it's funny, and the choreography is incredible. Like, it's a Latin with a musical theatre twist. I just think it's a great show. It's a very underrated show. And Felipa Stefani, shout out to you because you were incredible.
I love Philippa Stefani. Oh my god, I watched her in Rent and In the Heights, and she literally is one of the greatest musical theatre performers I've ever seen.
She once did a workshop at my old college, and the fact that we weren't allowed, well, it's not that we weren't allowed, she was only there for the diplomas, and it broke my heart. I was like looking through the window like, there she is. What an icon, what a legend.
Not gonna lie, Becky, if I was at your school, I would have stormed in that room and I would have been like, oi.
Oi.
I want a picture.
So one of the like best masterclasses we had was Natalie Weiss.
No, can we not talk about this, please? I'm just going to move on. So my number 4,
Yeah.
this touchy subject, just no. So my number 4 is also a jukebox musical,
Ooh, interesting.
also about an artist's life.
Interesting.
It is the beautiful, beautiful, the Carole King musical. I'm doing that again.
You do love that one.
I do love it. I got introduced to this show by my lovely friend Bethany Burrows, who, shout out, thank you for introducing me to it. I first watched it in London with Cassidy, and I've just followed it around ever since. It did a Christmas season at my theatre in Manchester, the Palace Theatre, with Bronte Barbie as Carol, who was just phenomenal. I just love, like, I didn't realise how many songs Carole King actually wrote.
I don't really know.
Until I watched that show. There was just so many. It's just a beautiful story. It goes through like the songs that she's wrote, the times in her lives that have been hard, how her husband cheated on her a few times.
Oh.
And I just love it, and I can't wait to get out of COVID-19 and I can see the UK tour with Daisy and Vicky. I just can't wait. And Laura.
I'm
and
excited for you.
I'm very excited. It's just a beautiful show.
I definitely need to come and see it. Wow.
Yes, you do.
See it so I can see what the hype is.
There is much hype, and I think most of the hype comes from me.
Yeah.
Number 3.
My number 3 is controversial. My third favourite show is the show Curtains. This is wrote by the same team as Chicago, which I only learnt recently. I was introduced to this a couple of years ago and I fell in love with it. Watched the bootleg. Don't really watch bootleg. I know they're illegal, but shh. So
We love bootlegs.
we do love bootlegs.
Just don't do it at my theatre because I'll be very angry.
Yeah, they're really bad. Don't film them, but I'll enjoy watching them. So yeah, I really loved it. I finally got to see it in Manchester. Thank you, Luke. Luke got me tickets. And when I say I was excited for this, I'd actually fallen over at work and ended up bashing my knee in to the point it was the size of like a pumpkin. So I hobbled all the way to Manchester, which is like an hour and a half on the train from Blackpool. Yeah, it's really bad. I ended up with a cyst in my knee. Like, I should have been going to A&E probably, but I was like, no, the show must go on. So I saw it. I think it's hilarious. It's such a funny musical. I think it's funnier if you know theatre from a doing it perspective as well, because there's a lot of inside jokes. I also went to see it in Manchester, and I know the people next to me in the interval, they were speaking to me and they were like, I don't understand the jokes. And they'd literally just gone to see Jason Manford, and I was like, if you don't do theatre, some of it you just won't get. But I love it. I think the choreography is really clever, especially if you're sat in the stalls, because a lot of it is choreographed for the not the stalls, up in the gods, up in the circle in the balcony. Because actually seeing it in the stalls, the choreography didn't look as good, but it was still good. But yeah, I just really love curtains. Luke's not a massive fan.
I'm not a massive fan. But I just want to say, guys, all opinions are our own.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing anyone to dislike any shows or love shows because I love them. But, like, everyone is entitled to their opinions. It's just a show that I didn't enjoy.
Which
There
is
you
fair
go.
enough. And it's nothing against any of the production companies, any of the actors
No.
or the lyricists or the composers. It's just not every show is for everyone.
Exactly. So my number 3 is an amazing show that got introduced to me in September.
Yep.
It is a wonderful jukebox musical that was just
Mhm.
beautifully written. It is *And Juliet*.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Oh, if you've not seen it, go watch it. I would try and explain the storyline to you, but it's not confusing. It's just you need to watch it.
Yeah, I was about
It's
to
one
say,
of them that I can't explain it to you. You just need to go and watch it.
yeah, but I thought that it's not a complicated plot, but it is, but it doesn't, it looks simple on stage.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
you
it's
follow it
simple
so
when you watch
easy.
it, but trying to explain it to someone, it's really hard to explain what it
Yeah.
actually is. But it's
I agree with you
basically
there.
Juliet not killing herself at the end and her going off to live her life,
And it's cracking.
which we love because I'm such a feminist. It's just a beautiful show. It's got amazing choreography. The songs are beautifully picked. Like, the actors, the actresses, the dancers were all phenomenal. The costumes, the set, just everything. I just love the poster, the hot pink and the yellow.
Oh.
Does things to me. And
And
I can't wait for COVID-19 to be over so I can go watch it again because I need my *And Juliet* fix in my life.
yes. Well, my number 2 has 2 shows actually. Because one of them's
No, you can't do that.
one of them's technically not a show, you could argue. So my first one is actually *And Juliet*. So we don't really need to touch on that because Luke's told you all about it.
Well, I think it's cheating that you've had a 2 in the 2.
Sorry, it's creative.
It's top 5 for a reason.
Creative licensing. Who owns this podcast? We own this podcast. We make the rules. So my second favourite musical, controversial because it's not technically a musical that's ever been staged, but it is Bombshell.
Becky, that is very controversial.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, a few years ago there was a TV series called Smash. It was made
Iconic.
in America, and there's 2 seasons, and it's basically about in the season they produce musicals, and it's about the life. And in the first season they're producing a musical based on Marilyn Monroe's story, and it is called Bombshell. The music is one of a kind. It is stunning, and obviously you see bits of what the show would be, and it is my dream one day for a production company or myself, it is my dream to myself produce it on the stage, because do you know what? It's a beautiful piece of art, but obviously it's never actually all linked together and you never get to see it as a whole. So that's why, can it be in my top 5? But I'm going to put it there because I adore it, and I need to watch Smash again. I lent my DVDs to someone at EDA and they're still down south. And I just
think
need to
I've
watch
got
it
it.
again. Oh, I need.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I was
sure I've
meant to be
got it.
going down this weekend, and I was going to ask her like, can I pick up my Smash DVDs? But you know, coronavirus ruined
COVID-19.
that. But yeah, so those are my top 2: *And Juliet* and a Bombshell.
Oh my god, I'll give you, just because they're both iconic shows, I'll give you them. Right, my number 2.
I'm excited.
So my number 2 is a show that I've been dying to see for 2 years, and I finally last month had the opportunity to go watch it.
Mhm.
I literally have a record of it next to my bed.
Mhm.
That's how much I love it. It is Mean Girls.
Yes.
I just love it. Like, it's just a beautiful show that pays tribute to the film, but it's like it's different. They've not
Yeah.
just grabbed the film and put it straight on stage. Like, they've changed some parts of it.
Ooh.
Oh, it's just amazing. Like, it's one of them shows that it needs to come to the West End. If it doesn't come to the West End, I'll be very angry.
Yeah, I've only listened to the cast recording because, I haven't been to Broadway. Lol.
Like, this is a show that, obviously, you know me, I was obsessed with the soundtrack. Like, I
Mhm.
listened to it every day.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to watch it.
Some of
And it was just the most...
expensive seat.
Yes, I was front row centre. It wasn't even that expensive. It was only $143.
Only.
I mean, yeah, but
But
it was
actually,
worth
that's
every
quite good
penny.
for Broadway.
Let's get to the big ones.
The big ones. So, some people will think, with my number one, what a basic gal. And I just want to say,
Don't.
disclaimer, I know it is a basic show. However, I have my reasons, and I will explain them, don't you worry. So my top show is Les Mis. It's a timeless story. Like, it never gets old. It's gorgeous. There's something for everyone in the show. And
Hate to break it to you, Becky.
what?
It does get old.
No.
It does. Sorry, I'm going to have to disagree.
No, I don't think it ever gets old. I can listen to any of the cast recordings any times and I never get bored of it.
To give it to you, Becky, like, Les Mis actually has one of my favourite songs in it.
Does it? Which one?
A Little Fall of Rain is just a beautiful song.
Oh, that is a stunning
It's
song.
one of my favourites.
The musical just holds so much sentiment to me. It was also the first show I ever saw in the West End as well, so you add that sentimentality. Yeah, I went for my 16th birthday.
Oh my God, I went to go watch Cats for my 16th birthday in the West End.
Oh, well, I was offered a birthday party and I was like, I really don't want one. I was like, I'd rather go to London and see a show, so that's what I went with my mum, my nan, and my friend from high school, Georgia, who is still doing musical theatre. She's doing amazing. She's in her second year at Conti. Shout out to Georgia. Yeah, we went to...
G. Dixon.
So, yeah, I had a cracking time. And it has so much sentiment in my heart. I never get bored of it. And I think it's a masterpiece.
So my top musical, if people can't guess it from my Instagram or my Twitter, is a lovely little show, a British musical.
I thought you said Little
I've
Shop
seen it
there.
39 times. Going to be watching it for the 40th time in April, if COVID-19 doesn't get in the way. It is Six, a musical about Henry VIII's 6 wives. What an incredible show!
Luke's
It is
a
a one
super
actor.
fan.
It's only an hour and a half max, but it's literally just the most incredible show. I first watched it 2 years ago in Edinburgh, and I've literally been around the whole country watching this show. I watched it in Manchester, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Liverpool, London, New York. Yes, I've seen it on Broadway, and it's just an incredible show. I just love how, like, you can see it so many times and there's always something new for you to look at, or like each person's portrayal of it is different, and that's what I love about it. And it's written by homebred English writers, Lucy and Toby, who are both amazing.
And they're only
And
really
it's just an
young as
amazing
well,
show.
aren't
Yeah, and I'm just gutted for them that they couldn't have their opening on Broadway. Just saying, it should have won the Olivier over Come From Away, just saying. Unpopular opinion, I know, but
I love Come From Away though.
it is what it is.
Come From Away is something else.
Right, Becky, we're not getting into this now.
Sorry.
So there are top fives. I mean, Becky, like, we could do honourable mentions, but I feel like we'll just be listing musicals for the rest of this podcast, and I
Yeah.
don't think that's what people want.
No, maybe not.
But shout out to Heathers.
Shout out to Come From Away.
Okay, right, that's our one honourable mention, so technically that was number 6.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Slash
But yeah,
7.
let us know what your top 5 are. See if
Yeah, we'd
any
love
of them
to
are the
hear.
same. I mean, not like anyone's going to be listening to this, but...
Exactly. But tweet, like and subscribe.
Do. That was a theme
Just
tune
like
that I
that.
just made up. Thanks, Becky. I don't know if I can repeat it, actually. Do 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 do. Ah,
We'll
yeah.
listen back and
Go
see.
on. There you go. So this is our segment. We like to have a bit of theatre news, even though you probably have already seen it all over the place. We're just gonna each episode we'll just bring you something different, like a different piece of news from theatre that we think might interest you. It could be an announcement of a new show, concert, or anything. But like this week, our theatre news is news that probably everyone in the theatre industry knows about. It is the closing of West End, Broadway, UK theatres.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah,
It is a devastating time for everyone who works in a theatre.
So obviously, there's a lot of discussion to have about was it the right decision to make at the right time. Obviously, for the safety of staff and patrons with COVID-19, it was the safe option to close all theatres. But I feel for the theatre industry because the government have been very clever, very, very clever in this. When Boris was making his speech, he said everyone should avoid theatres. He didn't say theatres had to close, that you could not go to the theatres, which meant that when the theatres closed, they are now not entitled to any claims back on their insurance, which is why performers have been let go straight off. Front of house staff like you, Luke, because the companies have no backing, because the government technically didn't say they had to shut, but they had to shut for the safety. And I'm so glad they've gone through safety rather than money first, because it just shows that this industry's about love and care and about the community rather than just making a bit of dollar.
So yeah, they're shut. I know ATG, the company I work for, are shut until the 26th of April, but obviously that is just an estimate. It could be longer.
Yep.
But that's when we're hoping to open for. And it is such a tough time, but I'm just so glad that people aren't taking it negatively in the industry and people are actually turning it more into a positive and actually offering things to the community. So I know loads of people are offering dance classes on Facebook and Instagram. Artists are doing live concerts.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing something to help the community. I know tonight at 7 p.m.
Whoop whoop.
we've got Eugenius coming,
So excited.
which I'm really excited about. And everyone's they're not even asking for money, they're just asking to donate to the Actors Fund, which is an amazing charity that helps all actors and people in the industry afford to live during these tough times, which I think is amazing.
Exactly.
So if you do have some spare dollar, why don't you think about donating it to the Actors Fund and watching Eugenius tonight at 7 p.m.
That is what
Or-
I will be doing.
The whole of next week, all West End stars are putting on concerts. So you've got
Yeah.
Alice Fern, Lucy Jones, Leighton Williams, like all these amazing people are putting on all these incredible live concerts, which is just so exciting. And then you've got Sherelle from Six on the West End. Her company Heels and Feels are putting on dance classes every day. Just amazing things happening.
And
I'm
you know
just
what is also nice? Flip it on the other side. You can do all of this stuff in your pyjamas, in your bed.
exactly.
So do you know what?
Like, I know me and Becky we work for Blackout Theatre Company, and we are hoping to put on live classes as well. I'm going to be doing some dance classes, some repertoire classes. Becky was going to do some music theory,
Yeah.
just to help. Well, it's not just for them, but it's like for us to pass time and make sure we're not overthinking things and just sat moping around. Like,
Yeah,
we
I
need to be
think
active. We need to still keep doing things.
It's very easy. I think this is for everyone, whether you're in theatre, anything, whatever your job is, especially if you're not working at the moment. I think it's very easy to be like, oh my God, we've got all this time off. I can just laze around. And yeah, have a few days. Everyone deserves it. I mean, I'm currently recording this in my bed, in my dressing gown, after I spent
We
all
live
morning
for-
watching Charmed.
We live for that. But this is just a shout out to everyone in the industry. We think you're doing amazing.
Yeah, keep going.
And we just want, if anyone's actually listening to this podcast, we just want you to keep supporting theatre when we get out of this bad situation.
Yes.
Think about the little theatres. Think about Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester. I've just bought a theatre card for them. £5 a month, just helping them get by, so then they will not be forced to shut forever. ATG have just put up a massive campaign. The show will go on, and it will. The show will go on. And I think, personally, theatre is going to be stronger than ever when we eventually open, and I'm really happy that I'm in this industry.
I think it's what's so beautiful about this industry. A lot of people slate performing arts. They slate it as an easy option and blah blah blah. It's really not. But we're such a community, and in this time, as much as like theatres and stuff, everyone's turning to actors. Everyone's watching Netflix. All of a sudden, everyone's listening to music. Again, we're turning to artists for entertainment. Like, artists are what are keeping people's morale up in this time. And I'm like, how can you slate people who want to go into this industry? Like, you want to encourage them, because I don't know anyone who doesn't use people in the performing arts as a source of entertainment, whether it's just watching TV, watching the soap. We've all come from similar startups. That's just a little rant. Don't know if it made sense out loud, but it made sense in my brain.
And you know what?
Support artists.
That comes to the end of our theatre news. Do.
So before we all leave you this week, we would like to give you a soundtrack.
Oh, wait, I need to do a theme tune. I need to do a theme tune. Soundtrack of the week.
So guys, before we leave you this week, we would like to leave you with a soundtrack of the week. It's something that we are planning to do on each podcast, where just to end, we give a soundtrack we think you should all listen to. You might have listened to it, you might have not. But if not, it's a way of hearing new material. So our soundtrack of the week is, drumroll please, Something Rotten.
Woo! A snippet from Something Rotten. It is a wonderful show, and
Incredible.
I can't believe it's taken this long to come to us in the West End. Well, it's not even come to the West End. The UK in general.
I think the UK is going to love it.
I think they're going to love it too, and I can't wait. I mean, it is about Shakespeare.
Exactly. It's our territory.
Exactly. There you go. So that was our soundtrack of the week.
Soundtrack of the week.
So, guys, we've come to the end of our first podcast.
We hope you've enjoyed it. Let people know if you've enjoyed it. If you haven't enjoyed it, just stay quiet.
Exactly. And you know what? If you didn't enjoy it, don't listen to next week's.
Yeah.
We're hoping to do this weekly, guys. So if there is anything that you want us to talk about, any musicals that you think that we'd enjoy that we wouldn't know about, please get in touch with us. My Twitter is LukeFM29.
And mine is Becky_Holding.
We'd love to hear your opinions, your thoughts, things you'd want us to talk about. We're planning on doing different kinds of podcasts. Like one week we're going to do a jukebox musical podcast because I love jukebox musicals.
I'm thinking we need a Broadway versus West End, and we can have the discussion of, is it really different? Why is it different?
But yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
You've been listening to Sugar Butter Flour.
Then the tea.
Thank you. Peace.
Thank
and
you.
You know what? Stay safe during COVID-19.
Yes, stay safe, everyone. Social distance. Remember.
Key.
Wash your hands.
Bye.
Bye.
Sugar Butter Flour.
Then the tea.